The fact that Larry Fink got orange pilled and believes in it is the single biggest thing that happened for it this year, just because he has such clout. BlackRock touches so many places, right? We're going to compete against them in the ETF, but think about it now. We've got Invesco with us, BlackRock, Wisdom Tree, Fidelity. Pretty soon you're going to have 9 sales forces selling the Bitcoin story. The SEC, I think, will approve this in the next 10 days, 2 weeks. Jan 10th is kind of a cutoff date because of the lawsuit they had with Grayscale. It looks like there's not going to be in-kind distribution, which is not the best thing. It'll be more interesting from a trading perspective, but every other ETF seems to have in-kind, and so Gensler's still trying to gum up the works a little bit.
Welcome back to Money 101. In today's update, Galaxy Digital CEO Mike Novogratz shares insights into the current state of the cryptocurrency market, shedding light on the Bitcoin ETF and emphasizing the pivotal role BlackRock is set to play in 2024 compared to other institutional investors. Novogratz anticipates an unprecedented bull run, unlike anything witnessed in recent history. The impending SEC approval of BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF application signifies a looming influx of substantial capital into the crypto sphere, with Bitcoin hovering just below $42,000, reflecting an impressive 11% increase over the past month. The market has witnessed rapid price surges, heightening expectations for ETF approvals. Novogratz underscores that a mere 1% allocation from BlackRock's portfolio will trigger a floodgate, ushering in hundreds of billions of dollars in institutional capital. According to his forecast, this influx will lead to a remarkable 400% surge in Bitcoin alone, with a target price of $150,000 within the next 6 months. Notably, the Bitcoin halving aligns with this timeline, suggesting the potential for the most significant crypto surge in a matter of months. Join us as we delve into the latest interview with Mike Novogratz, exploring his crypto price predictions and the anticipated trajectory for Bitcoin in the coming days and weeks.
I always say Bitcoin is a report card on good economic stewardship. If we took our deficit from our spending from 25% to 20% and our deficit from 6% to 0, Bitcoin would be lower, not higher. And gold would be lower, not higher. And so I don't see our government, the European governments, almost any government getting away from what I call populism. And Satoshi saw that when he wrote the Bitcoin white paper. The white paper was literally like a cure to populism. And that's what the core of Bitcoin is. It's a social construct between two people that says, I'm going to put my hard-earned savings in this system, this community of people who are governed by this constitution in a fixed supply currency. So in Bitcoin, why it's so exciting, and I have a lot more Bitcoin than I do gold, certainly vol adjusted, I have 10 times as much. It's such a new asset, and it's like a virus that's just starting to spread. The adoption of this idea that Bitcoin is a store of value is going straight up. What I think people miss, and I talked a lot about this in 2017 when we had our first mania, is that crypto was really the first ever global speculative mania. We never had a global market. You had a couple stocks that were traded globally, but if you go back and you look at the 99 internet bubble, you didn't have anyone in Korea participating, anyone in India participating, anyone in Russia participating, anyone in Africa participating. Crypto is global. And just like I'm telling the Bitcoin story on CNBC and Bloomberg and on podcasts here in New York, there's someone in a village in Indonesia telling that story. And the viral nature of 8 billion people getting more converts every day is really hard to stop. The other piece of this is Bitcoin exists within a movement called, you can call it crypto or decentralization. And that movement touches people in a way because it feels like it's a revolution. It's a revolution of saying, I want to cut out the middleman. I want to trust in myself. I want to have peer-to-peer transaction. I want to have more efficiency, equal access. So there's this, I think, progressive, but it's half progressive, half libertarian ethos that people buy into. And so you've seen it in the Ethereum community or in all these other communities that have showed up. What's been disappointing is outside of payments not in the US, but out in Mideast, Africa, Latin America. Crypto is used a lot for payments, stable coins mostly. The core next mission, the Web3 mission, the decentralized trading, the decentralized rideshare, the decentralized ticketing, hasn't really shown up yet. Some green shoots, it's taking longer than I thought for those projects to get scale. So put it in perspective. I would argue that Bitcoin, which is $1 trillion asset after, 14 years, might be the single greatest brand ever created. Right? We created Tesla's close and Apple's up there. We created in 14 years, $1 trillion brand that doesn't have a CEO, that's owned by no one, that's universally known. That's, it's marketing genius. And if you look at Apple from its 14th year to its 30th year, I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin takes a bigger trajectory. Things spread virally, but it doesn't happen overnight. Retail is surprisingly invested and continues to invest. We have one client, so we don't deal with retail direct, but we deal with the institutional clients that deal with them. And so all the platform companies, the PayPals, the Squares, those of the world who have these wallets that can collect money, and we do some of the trading for some of those companies. And there's one alone that between what they do with us and their two other trading counterparties buys more Bitcoin every day than is mined. So the whole mining supply is swallowed up by one app in the US every day. That's the global mining supply. And so one of the reasons I think Bitcoin has a shot at parabolic is this. There are 8 billion people out there, 250 million people own Bitcoin or some piece of a Bitcoin. As that goes a little more viral, those small checks add up immensely. We are seeing institutions come in. We're seeing hedge funds buy with our trading desk for the first time in a long time, the last couple months. I talked to one of my friends who's got a big decentralized platform. He said he saw volume double and then double again in the last 2 months. And so that's more retail online. Most institutions are still buying futures because it's simpler and they can call their prime broker and they will switch to the ETF. I think the ETF will have a dominant amount of liquidity in Bitcoin, and then we'll have an Ethereum one. And that'll make it so much easier for the institutional capital to come. The SEC, I think, will approve this in the next 10 days, 2 weeks. Jan 10th is kind of a cutoff date because of the lawsuit they had with Grayscale. There's not going to be in-kind distribution, which is not the best thing. It'll be more interesting from a trading perspective, but every other ETF seems to have in-kind. And so Gensler's still trying to gum up the works.
The cryptocurrency market is on the cusp of an explosive surge in prices, according to Novogratz. He underscores Bitcoin's current undervalued status, attracting both investors and speculators eager to capitalize on the September price fluctuations for potential profits. Novogratz's optimism is driven by the imminent wave of mass adoption, presenting an unprecedented opportunity to participate in the unfolding market dynamics. He envisions a sprint toward a 6-figure price target within the next 12 months. Notably, Novogratz points to Bitcoin's historical trend of experiencing a 10x surge in value with each halving event, suggesting a potential leap from $10,000 to an astounding $100,000 in 2024. He criticizes the Federal Reserve and central banks for empty promises, resulting in excessive money printing and a proliferation of subpar investments. In the aftermath of the recent inflation spike, Novogratz contends that a return to the status quo is unlikely, asserting that the U.S. is grappling with a mounting debt crisis. Kaiser outlines 2 grim scenarios: hyperinflation or a deflationary depression, both detrimental to overall quality of life. He emphasizes the lack of viable solutions, indicating the severity of the crisis. Intriguingly, Kaiser highlights the emerging discourse among political figures, considering Bitcoin as a potential component of a solution, signaling a shift towards a Bitcoin-centric financial framework. What are your thoughts on Mike Novogratz's Bitcoin prediction, the crypto market cap, and the influx of institutional capital? Share your comments below. Thank you for watching. Remember to hit the like button and subscribe for more content like this. Stay tuned for our next video.